cat urine out of the sinus. Yeah, cat pee.
Oh, that was weird. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Welcome back to Read This Way, the manga podcast that never goes according to plan.
No.
I'm your host, Bradley.
You know what?
Too many cat scratches.
And cat pee. You got too much cat pee at the moment too. Yeah.
No, it's all cleaned up.
It's all cleaned up. It's all set.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
And I am Logan, of course, the other host. Let's say co-host. You're the host. I'm going to be the co-host today, which means you get to then control everything. So what's
Man, it's been a hot minute. Welcome back, everybody. We are back by unpopular demand.
That's not true. I mean, anybody that knows about us wants us back.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
I'm not going to tell you why we disappeared. I had several health issues.
I think we just needed some quiet time for a minute, didn't we?
Yeah. I didn't necessarily get burnt out on manga. I got burnt out on cancellations.
Well, yeah, there was a lot of cancellations and stuff, but that happens all the time. I think I've become somewhat
numb.
Almost. I think I'm numb, and then I'm just like Red Hood. Just now and then.
We will be talking about some new ones, some new endings, some maybe cancellations, a couple of news things, and just generally shit. But there will be some pretty substantial, big-ish announcements coming from us. So we're back. We're going to be showing you a whole bunch of stuff. Talking about shit. We're not meant to swear in the first couple of minutes, are we?
No, that's... I don't know who says that.
Also, we're not monetized, so it's fine.
Yeah. There's that, and it's our native tongue. I mean, that's kind of racist for people to tell us to not
That's
swear.
True. That's true. So, some noise you haven't heard in a while. Logan, what are you reading?
What am I? Oh, we're just kicking off straight off with that. Cool. Look, my what I'm usually reading. So Sakamoto is like at the top of my list every week. Every week.
It is so good.
It has consistently been good and never displeases me. So, and now that the anime is out floating in the world, it's become even more popular again. Which is that, it's the same thing that's happened to Dan as well, is that multiplication of readers. They've shifted from being a like a 70K viewing profile to a lot more, like 120, stuff like that, which is insane. It's like a big jump for them, which means I can actually have conversations with people about these series now, which is great. I've been yelling and screaming at people to read both Sakamoto and Dan for years.
Yeah.
And now people are actually reading it, which is great. I get to have conversations now, and I'm not having to constantly tell people and hound them and tell them to read this stuff, which is good. I like that.
Yeah.
So Dan, Sakamoto, Chainsaw Man, of course, which is, man, I feel like he's lost his mind again, right?
No, I had so much fun with this latest episode.
Look, this most recent arc has been so wild. It's been really wild. Just it's not even action. It's just weird, right?
Yeah, like we've had a little bit of action sprinkled in, but it's just been more bizarre stuff.
Yeah,
like more so than anything else.
Yeah. Very cute chapter, this most recent one that we had, though.
I want to know who she finger banged, and that sounds worse than it should. But it's pretty accurate.
That's exactly what she's doing. And I think that may very well be the little bit of the inside joke that he's throwing in there, because she does say bang every time she fingers someone, which of course sounds way worse when I say it out loud than when I said it in my head. I'm just like, oh no, that sounds pretty normal.
Yeah. It's the brain rot seeping in.
I think so.
Just really quickly, actually.
Yeah, go for it.
Side note to Chainsaw Man, you just reminded me because I found out today that Viz's Twitter page has been hacked.
Oh, didn't I send you a message the other day?
Did you?
Oh, no, that was
I
Crunchy.
didn't see it.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard. I also I knew Crunchyroll as well. Which it makes a lot of sense, seeing as it's Sony. They're pretty notorious for it.
Are they? Do the PlayStation accounts get hacked often?
Yeah. Well, back in the day, they had the massive PlayStation server issue. I think it was like on the PS3. So we're going back a bit, but
yeah.
Hey Nerdburger, how you doing? Welcome. But yeah, so in the span of like a week, you've got Crunchyroll having a massive data breach. You've got Viz having their Twitter account being taken over, as well as like a pretty high up there YouTuber or streamer, and yeah, they were just pumping Bitcoin, or like one of the pump and dump crypto coins. So yeah, I don't know what's happened since, but I think it's all been smoothed over now. But yeah, it was pretty wild there.
Just for a little bit.
I just wanted to show off the finger bang.
Oh yeah, there's that's what we meant. That's what we meant by finger bang. Not the kind that you're thinking about. Yeah, I'm pointing at you viewers. Yeah, so okay. Yes, so change accounts. So not change accounts, but change your passwords on your accounts if you don't already know that.
Yes.
If you're on Crunchyroll or Viz. And look, in accounts, you should be changing your password regularly. That's a little bit of IT knowledge, right?
I mean, the Viz one less so, because that was just isolated to their Twitter, but still.
Oh, really? Okay. So it's just their account, their Twitter account. So it's Twitter that got hacked, not Viz.
Yeah, it was Viz's Twitter specifically.
Yeah, so that was aimed directly at them by the sounds of it. What kind of stuff were they dumping on the Twitter then?
It seems like it was, like I said, crypto. It was just pumping crypto. That's it.
Oh, okay. It was just, that's weird. Yeah. So it was just an absolutely random bot, I would say.
Well, they think it was someone at Viz clicked something that they shouldn't have. That old
There's
chestnut.
The story.
But that's about it. There's no more fun story to that. It's just
that's it.
I wanted to quickly talk about one of the new manga that we've been absolutely frothing since launched on Manga Plus.
Do you know day one? I know exactly what you're talking about. It's Mad, right?
Yeah, it's Mad.
You're just trying to sideswipe me there. No. It's definitely.
It Mad. Is. Yes, it is Mad.
This is absolute fire series
for us to get like physical copies. That and Shibatarian, actually, I'd be pushing.
I would love a hardcover Shibatarian. It's one of those series that I would love in just a 2-book hardcover set. That would be really, really meant for me. Not that it will probably happen here, but wishes and dreams.
A man can dream, Harold.
That's right. But getting back to Mad, it's It's you want to lay down the story? You want to give us the general
synopsis.
gist?
Some mysterious alien life forms have invaded Earth. Most of humanity has been completely wiped off the face of the Earth. We have our main character, John, his little sister, and the remaining survivors trying to stay alive. There's only 18 chapters. It literally only started mid last year. And oh my god, I would probably put it as like it feels like Attack on Titan meets Aliens.
With a little sprinkling of Fire Punch. Just
yeah.
It's actually I wouldn't. I guess it's kind of Aliens, but it's not. It's like if aliens actually came to Earth, or Alien Earth, which is a thing they're doing. But it's
I can't imagine that's going to end well.
Not with Disney at the helm.
So I meant for the humans and Earth. But
okay, sorry. It is that sort of dystopian wasteland environment. People are literally just waiting to die. That's the vibe. By the way, if you're a little bit conscious of internal dark monologues and you're a little bit concerned with that sort of thought process, a little bit of a warning, because main character's not exactly the happiest of fellows.
He is the saddest of boys.
He's good. He's for good reason. For good reason. He's only got one arm.
I really like his sister. She is so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the scene where they're both captured that you see later, like a little bit later on in the series, and she fights back. That was really they've really portrayed her as like really badass character.
Yeah, indeed, and his influence to be more than he thought he could be.
Yeah.
So yeah, she is a pivotal character for him. And I hope she continues to do so for the future.
Yeah.
But it's what about actually? You know what? Let's talk about the art style here, because
that's kind of part of what reminds me of Attack on Titan. Not just like some of the other elements like narrative and themes and whatnot. It has that very scratchy, fast sort of. Yeah, I don't really know how to early Isayama.
It's barren and sketchy.
Yeah,
it's probably the best way to explain it. But it has form.
It's not
bad. Like no. There's form and there's structure to all the artwork, but it looks slightly unfinished. And I think that's because there's a kind of a lack of extra definition, so that he's not like punching a whole bunch of detail into the background and stuff like that. Just the necessities, and it gives you a lot more focus on the characters' faces and their movements and their gestures. It's very it is very Fujimoto in the way that the expressions work and the way he focuses on the characters as opposed to the actual scenery itself.
Just gonna bring up.
You got a sample for us?
Give
me a
bring it up for the visual viewers. Apologies if you are audio only.
Get video. God damn it.
The visuals will be up on the YouTube channel. And for those confused, because we're live streaming this on YouTube only, and we're going to be re-uploading the audio to places. I haven't decided yet. Probably Spotify. I don't know.
We should flip a coin. We should flip several coins. Let's see how we go. Maybe that cloud one. What's the cloud one? That does things.
SoundCloud?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. I know things.
Yeah.
I guess unrefined feels wrong to say as well.
That's right, because it's purposely constructed in this way to make it feel barren.
Yeah.
And it adds to that. Like, this guy could definitely pull off like a Mad Max manga. Like, that's the kind of the kind of textures that you get out of the visuals. So it is,
You know, it's
just beautiful,
funny because
actually.
so much of it has been in pretty much only two locations,
Yeah.
except for the flashback where we kind of saw them, like the other guys, the other survivors, in what looked to be like a forest area. This is kind of the only bit of like human civilization that we see in,
and that's only because that's at the very beginning of the devastation. So,
do you remember? It's been a while since I read the start. If they actually mention how long it's been since,
they might have, but but like you said, it's only been like 18 chapters, but it feels like it's been a lot. Like, there's a lot in these chapters, but that's the most text you'll get on a page. It's not heavy on text, it's heavy on imagery, in the way things look.
Just trying to see if I can find any more. Ooh, that's interesting. Also, these ones are quite beefy boys, so the chapters are substantially large. The first volume chapter is like 120 pages.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, but you just so enthralled that it goes so quickly. And some of the latest chapters just have no dialogue.
Yeah, exactly. You'll get 10, 15 pages with no dialogue at all, just straight up action. Which is brutal, by the way. Absolutely brutal action and violence, and aliens killing humans, humans killing aliens, humans killing humans. There's no real sort of defined structure to how things go. It's everybody for themselves in the series, basically.
So there are currently 3 volumes out.
3 volumes? Tunks.
The first volume, Tankaban, came out August last year. It is 216 pages. So just to give you an idea, that's 2 or 3 chapters. That's it.
Yeah, it's like 2 well, if that one's 120.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, but no, he's releasing this too often. This is a weekly series.
Yeah, but
they can't all be that big.
No, they're not all that large, but I'm just getting up the volume covers now.
Maybe the English translation's a bit late to the game. Maybe we just
it looks like it's only on Amazon Japan at the moment.
Yeah,
according to where I'm getting the. It's literally just mad.
Yeah. We'll see some Tunks come out though, no doubt, which will be great, because it's really good to see a fresh new series that has a wild new idea. That's sort of punching outside of the generic stuff that's currently happening. I don't know if
why can't I read Japanese? It does look like it's a physical release.
Okay, cool. So we will see it. We'll see it eventually.
It was hard to kind of tell. One, I don't go on Amazon because Bezos, and 2, I don't read Japanese, so I was trying to decipher both the website and foreign language. Okay, so there's that one. Why didn't the first one? That's weird.
So one of the things that really struck me hard in this series was when his sister's talking about how heroes always work out to get stronger.
Yeah.
So he just randomly starts doing push-ups.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
She's the shonen blood in this series.
Yeah, because he's a bit of a whingy whiny guy.
Also, again, not that you can blame him.
No, not at all. I mean, it's not exactly a great world. Man, there's some great covers.
Right? They're very, very like cinematically minimalistic. I love it.
Yeah.
And the latest volume with Bob.
Oh God, I love Bob.
He is
what a guy.
We know nothing about Bob, and he is like one of my favorite characters.
We know a little bit. We know a little bit about Bob.
We just know that he is the White Knight.
He is. He's the good guy in this series. And it appears like to be the only good guy in this series, to be honest. The rest of them.
It's very much so, yeah. That very much the humans are the real monsters, but also we have real monsters.
Yeah, there's actual monsters in there doing monstery things.
Yeah, it looks like
definitely
around 200 pages per volume.
Yeah, that's pretty normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope we start getting those over here.
Man, that'd be so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What else
have you been reading?
Well,
you been reading anything else?
Yes, I have been on an Undead Unluck binge because I stopped reading it when the anime dropped, and then probably about then, which I always do. But Undead Unluck has just wrapped up with its 249th chapter. I am about 35 chapters behind at the moment. And I've just been drinking it in. My God, it has such a rough start with the weird pervy shenanigans, but holy crap, do they get so intensely intricate with their power system and the rules that they've crafted for the universe. It's mind-boggling. And then they just and then they just layer shit on top of each other to like enrich everything as well. I'm really enjoying catching up in a binge format as well. It's really nice.
I feel like it's one of those series that definitely would benefit from a binge style environment. Yeah.
I did that recently with something else that you were reading. I don't remember. Actually, it might have been Mad. I think it was Mad.
I'll be honest. It took me a few weeks of trying to convince you to start reading that.
Did it?
It did. When it first dropped, I'm like, oh man, you got to go read this. And then I reckon it was 3 chapters later, and I'm like, hey, are you on board with this? And you're just like, oh yeah, I'm getting to it.
I think that's when I was starting to ramp up my my reading again, and I was fully in just Brandon Sanderson audiobooks.
Oh yes, yeah, you were.
I'm just like
nose deep. You were nose deep in those things. So, but let's not get sidetracked. I know you. Like if we say that name, it'll go somewhere else.
I'm a good boy. We talk about manga and anime here, and
that's
manhwa.
Right. Well, speaking of manhwa,
he does have a graphic novel though. I haven't read it though, so I got nothing to.
It's full of stick figures and words. I'm guessing he doesn't draw it. Yeah. Not to say that he couldn't draw. I don't know. I don't know the guy. I'm sure he's very talented at doing words.
Yeah, he is.
So recently, I discovered because I found out.
I'm sorry. I had it on
You had the quiet
big
on.
screen. I had it on full screen, so I couldn't see it.
It's I started reading a series on Webtoon called Everything Is Fine.
Oh, I haven't gotten around to reading that yet, mainly because I had to. My friend's not compatible with Webtoon anymore.
You need I swear 3 years ago you said I need to get a new phone.
Yeah, I'm broke. Yeah, I've been broke for 3 years.
That'll do it. You can read it online. You can read it in the web browser. Just read it through the web browser.
It started back then, and it's slowly like the odd app that's
worse.
just no longer compatible. I'm like, I have a Note 8. My phone is like completely up to date with both the Android system, and it's beefy enough to run whatever shit app you're pushing anyway. Even the local transport, like
PTV's not going.
It doesn't work on my phone anymore. I'm like, are you kidding? Oh, it's insane. Anyway, sorry. Talk about your Webtoon.
Sorry. Webtoon. Everything is fine. It's got it. There's a ton of chapters. Like it's like in the hundreds of chapters to read. So there's lots to read. But it's got one of the. So I really like the stories where they don't tell you anything first up. You just sort of discover as you go along. Especially when they throw you into sort of dystopian or
if it's done well, yes.
Oh yeah, yes. I'll continue to read if it's done well. Environments where there's a lot of utilitarian style sort of monitoring and that sort of business going on. So it's a series that's about people that seem to have given up their general human rights to live in essentially a 1950s style utopia. Husband, wife stays at home cooking and cleaning, and husband goes to work in a mundane box shifting kind of environment, and then he comes home and they do whatever they do in 1950s style, which is sit down for dinner and all that sort of business and talk to the neighbors. Hey neighbors, and all that sort of stuff. The thing is though, everybody's wearing
sensing a butt.
But everybody wears like these bear helmets. So all the characters are real cutesy and they all look kind of the same because they got these big giant bulbous bear helmets on their heads that are actual helmets. So they're humans underneath these helmets. So and they've got like cameras and stuff built into their helmets. So they're always being monitored and being kept track of and the likes of. So it's got this really super cute look, but it's got this really, really dark undertone. Like in the so this is not spoiling anything, but in the very early chapters, like in the first 3 chapters, you discover that their dog that they own has passed away, but they've done nothing about it. The dog's been dead for like 2 weeks and the corpse is like rotting in the corner, but they keep putting food in the bowl and they keep, going through the mundane, rudimentary sort of process of looking after it. And it's just something sort of a really eerie and bizarre that happen that they don't explain.
I'm starting to get the feeling that not everything is fine.
No, very much not fine. And it's got that great keep reading kind of environment where you'll read one chapter and go, oh, I'll read a couple of chapters at the moment, and it'll be like 3 hours later you're like, I forgot Webtoon is just one of those constantly goes and it goes real quick kind of environment. So it's a really good
wow read. It's a really big helmet.
Yeah, it's a big helmet.
Like it doesn't seem so large on the little title page, But that looks bonkers huge.
It's pretty wild, and some of the characters are really interesting, and it's got like this built-in sort of reprogramming style environment as well. So the main character really is the wife of the
really?
husband. Yeah, she's going through. They're both going through some form of loss that has been erased from their memory, and even though the erasure has happened, it hasn't completely left her mind. So she keeps seeing things in reflections, and memories keep sort of buzzing in and out of her life, and she can't seem to come to terms with the lifestyle that they have. So she keeps trying to push the envelope and cause trouble and stuff like that, trying to cause a little bit of anarchy to find out, what's happening.
As unsettling as this whole exchange is, I keep focusing on this. Who designs a
You can keep going
like this?
You can keep going. Everything's off. Everything's odd and weird and out of place, even though it's meant to be normal. Nothing's quite right.
So strange.
Yeah, everything's eerie, and I feel like this would make a really cool TV series.
This is bizarre.
Yeah, highly recommend though. Great storytelling.
I think it really helps that it looks so cute.
Yeah, I think that was one of its big appeals. And there's Winston's bowl.
Yeah,
A bit
I'm
of
not
dog
looking
food in for
forward
Winston.
to it.
Hey, Winston, where are you, Winston? There he is. Winston's, you're not moving.
Is it?
And this is the kind of stuff she does, where she's like causes that little bit of chaos just to keep herself busy or distracted or something like that.
A lot of like
and then you see things. Yeah, you start seeing things in surfaces and stuff like that. So it's very smartly done, and it keeps you sort of pushing through and through each.
The use of colors really nice in a really messed up kind of way.
Yeah. Yep. So that was like a big surprise find for me. I was really happy I found that. And have
so that's been going since 2021.
Yeah. And it's kind of sad that I've only just found it now, but at the same time, I get to do a big old binge read.
It does look really nice. There's only a few webtoons that I've actually read. One was, well, the two big ones that I got you to read as well, which was Sweet Home and Shotgun Boy. Did you read Shotgun Boy?
I read Shotgun Boy. I didn't read Sweet Home though. I did watch the series on Netflix.
Just read it.
It's different.
It's not terrible. It's a pretty good adaptation. They just added in a couple of characters, and
there's no firefighters in the.
No, it's so weird. I don't know why they even felt the need to do that. And there's a couple other seasons to it that I just haven't even bothered with. I was really hoping that they were going to do like a Shotgun Boy like prequel or tie-in, because they are connected. Shotgun Boy is the prequel to Pre-Home. Sweet Home.
What was that word you just used?
Pre-home.
Oh, okay. That's not quite what I heard, but okay.
It's when you get home prematurely. And you're really enjoying the walk, but you get home a little bit too quick, This is dumb.
I walked a lot faster than I remember. Yes. Yes. It was the pre-home, so it definitely it was. I don't know. I feel like I liked the pace of Shotgun Boy. It was a wild ride.
Honestly, if you like Shotgun Boy, you really enjoy Sweet Home.
I know. You keep saying that, but
I can't remember what the other one that I read was called, but it was it was 100% like one of those wish fulfillment manga, where it's the main character getting revenge on his bullies, but it was like he was working at an electrical store. He ran into his bully from high school. His bully doesn't really do anything. He just kind of like says hello, and the trauma triggers him, and he turns and bolts, and pretty much kills himself. Like he runs off a balcony, and I think the bully tries to save him, and he ends up going back in time. But I think he inhabits the body of his bully, so it's almost like a Freaky Friday time travel sort of thing. It was really weird, and I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah, there's a lot of that stuff. I feel like manhwa is completely dominated by wish fulfillment and bully revenge series.
Well,
it's part of the culture, isn't it?
Just to use that as a segue, because I wasn't just going to talk about a random manhwa that I wasn't just to leave you all hanging. I thought it'd be a good idea to segue into solo leveling.
Why?
Because more than
you
Jack
just want me to do this publicly. You just want to do this publicly. Okay. You're on the fence, my friend. You're being politically.
I can see what it is and see why people enjoy it, but good God, is there like not a lot there? I haven't read it. I've only watched up until episode 3 of season 2. So I haven't the latest episode or whatever it is.
Is there another one out? Oh my God,
I think so.
Okay.
I binged it all in one night. It was very much so turn your brain off, action fun. I really, really, absolutely loved the first 2.5 episodes where they're doing the first dungeon, and it's like a puzzle dungeon, and the big statue with the creepy smile. That was super cool.
What a great start. What a great start.
And then it just falls off. In terms of like, at least for me, I didn't. I mean, going straight into it, my first problem with the anime, because I will stress, because otherwise.
Look, I will too, because I haven't read it either, and I'm basing all this on the anime as well. So
I really didn't like the cold open. That they showed off so many just like juxtaposing elements, and like you said before, when you get dropped into a series and nothing's really explained, it can be fun to explore and learn alongside with the characters. That's not the case.
It's because the characters are meant to explore the scenario, but in this,
the scenarios have happened for like years or at least months at this point. So it's back to the normal humdrum of life. Humans have pretty much gotten over the reality shifting. What are they called again? Dungeons? Is it that? The portals.
Portals, yeah, portals.
And it literally drops you in on this island with a bunch of like what look like fantasy characters fighting with swords and shields and magic and whatnot, and then it pans to a navy ship, and it's full modern day, and it was really confusing, and nothing gets explained for like, I would say at least the first 8 to 10 minutes, but not in a good way. Like, it left me asking so many questions that it was detaching me from what was going on until we finally got into like the dungeon, and it was a double dungeon, which
Yeah, look, it could have been completely not there. It would not have affected the series whatsoever if that first 5-10 minutes wasn't there.
The biggest thing that really got me is that it starts and it's like 3 months earlier, and I'm like, in relation to what? And
Yeah,
then
earlier than what? What's happening?
And then it finishes up that little bit, and then it's like 3 months later. I'm like, again, to what? It just it felt like one of the biggest like jerk complaints that I've seen about Naruto was like, when in the hell are they? Because they've got like TVs and computers, but it looks real low tech.
I think that's because in Naruto, that's their culture. The ninja culture is just not tech related. They just don't. Whereas if you go to another village or a city where people are normal that you never see because they're not casting spells and being ninjas, they're probably just normal every day. There's probably like an extension of Dragon Ball or something. It's, you know.
Well, I did see a hot take online recently where someone was talking about Naruto, basically saying that up until Shippuden, it was really good, and then after Shippuden, it's just
ninjas.
It's Dragon Ball with extra steps.
Yeah. Yep.
They like you said, they're no longer really ninjas. I still appreciate the ninja elements from like the folklore of like Jiraiya and all of the big three and their involvement with like the summoned beasts and the yokai comparisons.
But they become wizards.
I was about to say they're basically just wizards at that point. And
good thing we're on track there. But may we digress, and you can continue to bag out Solo Leveling because I don't need to. You seem to be doing it all for me.
And I'm the one that liked the show.
No, so this is the argument I have with a lot of people. People are just like, this show was awesome. It's amazing. It's, it's all the things I want. I'm like, no, it's not. You love the action. I love the action. Everyone loves the action because it's great action. And whoever directed the action and whoever's done the animation work for that
is really good.
Spectacular, absolutely flawless. Some of the best action I've seen for a while. I cannot argue.
Writing.
Everything outside of the action is nonsensical garbage. I do not give a shit about any of the characters. I really don't at all. Like, they give me nothing. Even the main character, I'm just like, I feel nothing for this guy. He's a piece of garbage.
I'm gonna just pause for a second in your rant because I agree. I really liked him at the start.
At the start, he was just a character.
As soon as he the double dungeon ends and he gets his reawakening or his new skill or his ability to solo level, they radically changed his character design to look exactly the same as every other manhwa protagonist.
Exactly.
And everyone recognizes him still. I'm like, are you guys all insane? He grew 2 foot. His bone structure is different.
He carries himself different. And it's...
What about him is even remotely similar that makes you go, oh, it's Jinwoo-san?
Yeah. Yeah, nothing. No. It's just everything about it is just really frustrating.
That's probably the thing that shits me the most.
Then you've got
they've got both of him on the... Oh, I almost dropped a big F-bomb. I know, but I'm trying to be good on YouTube. They have both character designs on like the promotional art for at least season 1, and it drives me insane every time I go into it. And like, because I'm watching it with my partner at the moment. She's really enjoying it. even though she dropped Undead Unluck, and I'm like, no, that's the better series. What are you doing?
Oh, and Dead Unluck gets so good.
I
Like
know.
towards the end, it gets way better. Whereas this is
we
the reverse; it just continues to be garbage.
we got up to just after Spoil, and yeah, and now I'm watching Solo Leveling the second time, and I'm rewatching it, and I'm like, yeah, it's just the fight scenes and the animation. There's nothing really.
And it's
Like,
only the animation in the fight scenes. As soon as they're out of the fight scenes, the animation drops back to be such generic garbage.
oh, they got some nice Sakuga though. Like in that
What?
first couple of episodes with
Oh
the
yeah,
one
yeah.
chick where she does the flip over the bike. Oh, so cool. I mean,
said, actor
the
director,
obligatory
on
like
point.
crutch shot though was a little bit much. But
They gotta have something going for the show, don't
they? And I mean, I don't hate the external stuff that they're trying to do with the world building, but it's falling flat. And
That's because nobody knows any of the characters and they don't know what they're talking about. He's trying to be all secretive about, the kind of information there. Why not tell us what's going on? We're not the main character. You can actually
well, and
say it
that's
on
the
screen
weird
what's
thing.
happening, right?
That's the weirdest part, right? Is that everything else is a completely separate B plot that very rarely intersects with the A plot. Not to mention,
You said
oh
plot.
my god, the female characterization for the most part, unless you're an S-rank hunter, they're fucking horrendous. They just so there was two girls in the first, well, really problematic in the first couple episodes that were in the party. One is a recurring character which I really dislike because she's pathetic. The other character does die almost immediately, and I was cheering when she did, because she did nothing but scream. Like, someone
yeah,
died, they
characters.
screamed. Someone stubbed their toe, she screamed. It's like, you're a hunter. This isn't your first outing. What are you doing?
Yeah, there's no reason for it at all. The concept of these characters is they're going out and killing monsters on the regular.
Yeah.
So they should be stone cold freaking killers, right?
The healer, maybe, but even still, God, she annoys the shit out of me.
Yeah. Yeah,
She's
because
so annoying.
all the characters are though.
Well, except for Jinwoo-san, he doesn't really have any character. So
that's what's so irritating about him.
Although that's a plot point, because he's losing his humanity while he's leveling or something.
He's got no humanity. You've actually got to have a personality to actually have humanity, right? And this guy has zilcho. Nothing. I know people love it, but I feel like they love it for the wrong reason.
Because it's wish fulfillment?
No, it's not even that. Like, I can watch shows with wish fulfillment that are well structured and have good characters.
He's the weakest of all humanity, and everyone steps on him. Oh,
no, he's not, and they don't.
Emo. Well, after the first double dungeon, they don't, because they can't.
No, but even in the first double dungeon, they don't treat him that. They don't treat him that bad. They treat him like someone who's walking into a very dangerous situation and he can't protect himself.
And then they all just leave him.
You don't just like he was kind of dead.
No, not then. He was just missing a leg.
Yeah, but he wasn't getting out.
He could have if they didn't bail.
If he just hopped out. But he couldn't. He couldn't leave because he had to stay there, because if he didn't, then he wouldn't have a connection to his dad, right?
He's who?
You didn't watch the more recent episode?
Oh, no. Yeah. Maybe I'm 2 episodes behind then.
Yeah, they're just like, oh
His
yeah, by
dad's
the way,
been
this
such
is
a
his dad.
non-entity.
I know, he hasn't even talked about him at all, and then suddenly it's like, I'm his dad, and he just turns up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty
All
much.
right, we spent too much time talking about solo leveling. Quick interjection. First big announcement. Oops, I hit the button and it didn't do anything.
Do it. Come on.
We have launched our official Read This Way channel. We were meant to be streaming on there tonight, but there's security measures that I was unaware of. So we can,
some technical difficulties.
Yeah, they were like, you've got to wait 24 hours. I was like, oh, this is because of all the people that unalived themselves, wasn't it?
I see. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
It's like a little barrier of entry. So, yeah. Anyway, so
you can't just stream whatever you want, whenever you want.
In the description comments below is the link to follow. It's on screen at the moment. Just type into the search bar at Read This Way and we will come up. There is nothing on there at the moment, but we will be re-uploading all of our old episodes as well as I'm gonna say it here, so maybe I'll actually do it.
Do it. Come on.
We're also going to be chopping up and making some highlight shorts and whatnot. Maybe, I don't know.
We're doing the
if we're funny enough.
We're gonna do the
yes.
Yeah.
We are also cooking. We're
gonna have a cooking show.
Yeah. Oh, maybe. No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm gonna throw some mayonnaise and some fried rice, baby.
We're still working out the structure, but we want to do not necessarily like a book review, but more of like a reading club. So we'll one week or once a month we'll pick a title, we'll read 10 chapters, and then we'll do a pre-recorded video for you of us talking about it, our thoughts, artistically where we think it's going to go, if we're going to continue reading it or going to drop it, and maybe we'll even have a live stream or something. I don't know. We'll see. Leave your ideas in the description of what you guys want to see and what you want us to and what you want us to read.
That's right.
That's right. One big announcement. Yay!
One. What's the next one, man?
The next one.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'll do it now. I am releasing my first tankobon. I just realized that might have blown people's ears out. I
was listening to it. I'm just like, wow, that's loud.
There is no volume control. Apologies. Just really quickly gonna show you guys. This is the definitive version of Super Ready Battle Armor. Issues 1 to 3, along with a very rarely seen before prequel that we did for Free Comic Book Day years ago that never got printed. So there's a new prologue and some little extras as well, and all of the lettering's been redone because I've leveled up and it looks like shit.
You have leveled up. You got in there and you changed it all up. It's looking good.
I still need to finish it though. I've been procrastinating.
You got time.
Badly.
You got time.
I do. But yeah. So physical copies will be $25, and they're going to be in the manga format. Hold on a moment. Here's what I prepared. Well, it's not It's not one of mine, but the size format. If I can find my big manga boys.
I don't have one on me either.
It's one of these ones, the Viz signature ones.
The extra.
The ones that are just slightly bigger.
The A5 Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can never remember what they actually call them. We've got stickers for the first time, which I'm really excited about. The digital bundles, you can get the Talking Bread, Apparition, Amphibian Noir, and
that's not just Amphibian Noir. That's award-winning series Amphibian Noir.
Ooh, by award-winning Logan French.
That's me.
If you spend $100 reduce, you can get all of our books, pretty much actually, yeah. And we do have some OG original art, which is super tasty. I just realized this is the first one that I'm not actually doing a insert yourself because it's already done.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Which means it'll be nice and fresh for people relatively quick.
Yeah, true. The turnaround's going to be very quick on this one, which is nice. So basically what the funding is for this one is just to do cover printing, distribution. That's pretty much it, actually.
Yeah. Just the basics. Just the basics.
Yeah. And because, like Logan said, I'm retweaking the script for issue 6 at the moment, so we're like a few chapters ahead. So you've got heaps of stuff and nothing to worry about when it comes to getting it to you. Yeah. If you haven't checked it out before, now's a perfect time to jump on board.
Yeah.
Where is the link gone?
It's got a sign up-y thing now, doesn't it?
It does. That's what I'm trying to find at the moment. There it is.
All organized, 100%.
Thanks, Nerdburger. Again, all links are in the comments. I think that's all the announcements. So we can we'll jump into the whatever else we've got left to talk about.
Did you want to talk about some more anime? I don't know if you've caught up on much of.
Actually, I did watch Sakamoto.
Okay, cool.
I want to hear your thoughts because we haven't actually talked about it yet. We talked about it very briefly, but that was
we did. My thoughts. It's oddly like it's weird going back. It's been
so bizarre.
Like 2 and a bit years now.
It feels longer.
Do you think? I feel like it's been because we're on 140-ish. I think
it started in 2020, dude.
There you go. It's more years than I thought. So we've been reading it for that long because we picked it up as soon as it dropped. And so we've been reading that for 5 years, man. So that's why it feels weird going back to the very and having another look at it. Because when I watched it with my son as well, and we're just like, this is, I guess, what Sakamoto was when it first started.
Yeah.
Because now it's not vastly different, but it is a lot more substantial in its characters, I think. Because you know them more. You know them more.
Yes, but
you've become attached.
And the only reason I say yes, but is because, and this is case in point, I don't remember her goddamn name. The female character. It
the Chinese
like
girl. Came in too quick.
No, it feels like I haven't actually gotten up to her in the anime yet. It feels like she's been completely dropped from the manga.
Oh, she was.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of those characters have. So when you look at it, Shin and Sakamoto, they're the MCs.
Yeah, but early days, it was a threesome at.
It wasn't. She was only there in situations that equated to things that were affecting her.
Mm.
So she was
Wild.
there for the triad arc, which was her arc, and then she became a part of the Sakamoto shop. And anything that happened in the
That was
Sakamoto
pretty much
shop,
it. I suppose, yeah, she's kind
anything
of
that
like
happens in the shop, she's there. She's the backup in the shop,
she's like there to
provided they
protect
keep high quality liquor in the store.
the
It's
wife
all
and
right.
daughter, I guess.
She's a
I
cool
don't know, just
character, but she
she
did
is,
get
but yeah.
she got invisible because they needed more character development for the mains.
I think it might have had something to do with the popularity polls.
Could have been.
I wonder if that had actually. I wonder if they. I don't think I've
No,
seen any.
dude, that would have been like. There's no point looking at that now. That's last year's news. 4 years ago news. But I feel like the anime is actually it's representing it pretty well.
Wow.
It's representing it pretty well.
Okay, so just as a quick side note here, the first character poll was done 2023, and Shin was the number one character.
Yeah.
Sakamoto is like he's top 5. Just
But he comes in at 5.
He comes in at 5.
Look, as much as we love Sakamoto, he's not a super interesting character.
I mean, we're getting stuff about him now.
Not really.
Well,
we're getting more about Shin than we are about him.
Yeah.
And that's because he is and always has been just a straight up deadpan gorilla. The dude has just been a monster.
And then actually, I think that's the only character poll that they've done.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the girl's name is. Nagumo is number 2, which understandably, because he is probably the coolest character. Just with the body morphing that he does.
Yeah, he's the pretty boy too.
Yeah, that too. And Osaragi. I forgot how to pronounce her name for a moment there. The goth girl with the buzzsaw.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which again makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does, but she also doesn't crop up a lot. So she's definitely not a main character.
Number 1 is Shin, and then 2, 3, and 4 are the 3 assassins from the JAA.
The Order.
Shishiba, the one with the hammers.
Yep.
And the scar. Yep. Yeah, he's number 4, and then you got Sakamoto.
Right.
And that really interesting.
That's okay. But what do you think of the actual animation itself? Are you?
I really liked the juxtaposition. Their cold open was really cool.
Yeah. It was hard boiled, my friend.
Oh my god, it was perfect. It felt exactly like it should have, like a gritty assassins. Like, oh man, it was.
Yeah, you want that contrast between his old life and his new life, and you shift from that real gritty, harsh shadows, fast action violence that happens in those first couple of minutes.
It was also like 3 colors: black, white, and that like shade of red that they had.
Yeah,
like that was pretty much it. It was like black and white with that weird, almost like rust.
Yeah, that dark red.
Yeah, like I say rust, maybe more like dried blood. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's what.
I think that was what they were going for.
Yeah.
And then hyper saturated colors immediately after.
And goofy faces and ridiculous behavior.
So while I was watching the first episode, when the ad roll came up midway through, I was like, Is this how it started? So I jump on my phone and I actually started reading, and I'm like, just kind of, skimming through, not like fully reading it because I just watched it, because it's practically panel for panel.
Yeah, nice.
And I'm just like, oh yeah, shit. They
It's been that
rearranged
long though.
ever so slightly. So the manga opens with a color page, which is actually inserted after the ad roll.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, nice.
it's two kids playing out the front of Sakamoto's shop, perking some poop, and he's all like, "Oh, what kind of poop do you think this is? Alien poop?" So they included it, but they also slightly changed it. So instead, it's just that one kid from the beginning that drew the target.
Yeah.
And the other kid is his daughter now, which I thought was a really nice inclusion. Some of the characters looked a little bit different, but it doesn't really matter because they died immediately anyway.
Yeah. It's just anime. It's it's never gonna be identical.
It was the part where Shin is bashing his head into the steering wheel, just fanboying over Sakamoto.
Yeah.
Sakamoto, and the mom's just like, "Don't look at that man." I was like, I don't remember that at all. And yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, all right. So that first episode is just chapter 1.
Yeah. Nice.
There's no added, like maybe a little bit of like filled out because of certain scenes you would need to.
Yeah.
It's basically just storyboards. But yeah, it was, oh man, just gorgeous. And the action scenes were incredible.
I can't wait to see a little bit more of the action.
The only big thing I noticed that was, and this is the only thing, it's like so minute. When Sakamoto is, he presses the button and all of the shelves go down and the guns come up and whatnot.
Yeah.
In the manga, it is very unclear. It just looks like he just gets a regular gun. In the anime, though, it's very clearly a taser.
Yeah.
So that was the only difference. And I wouldn't say that is censorship because of all the other goddamn guns. It just suits more narratively
the character
until he starts stabbing people towards the end of that fight. And I was like, did he just kill them? Because I didn't think he did that anymore.
No, he's non-vital areas.
Oh. And we never see them again.
No. Would you approach the guy who just disarmed you with a handgun and then stabbed you with a pen? Would you approach that guy? Nah. I would not.
I did think it was kind of nice that they still included the Japanese text on the aprons, because that is actually completely changed in the manga when they localized it.
Oh, really?
Which, I mean, I get. They would have just gone, like, put a little thing over it.
Put a little note underneath, though, like they do with so many others.
I know. It's a little thing.
Yeah.
That was about it.
See, they do that really well in the Berserk series. They do a lot of that sort of stuff. Just little notes underneath the.
I still haven't read
that's a sidetrack note. That one. Yeah.
I need to stop being a little scaredy boy and just start reading it, I think.
Oh, it's so good. My son's reading it, and so stop being.
Everyone's talked it up so much. They were like, "Oh, don't read it if you're in a bad mental headspace."
Oh no, it's not that. It's not that bad. It really isn't. Like, it's
I've
brutal.
also heard that about Pun Pun, and I was like,
that's all about.
At least the start. Yeah,
it's all about this, and it's all about your. Yes, that's right, your mental state. And look, I could say the same thing about Fire Punch. You know, anybody who is in a fine place is going to read that and go, "Hi, that was fun." But anybody in a dark place is going to read it and go, "Oh no."
I'd be very interested, actually, to hear a trans person's take on that one character from Fire Punch whose name I can't remember. I only remember Agni and Luna.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know the one. The director.
Yeah.
Damn it. Because I thought I felt like it was a pretty decent representation. The character was fucking insane, but but the way that that sensitive material was approached felt quite respectful, even though
that's
just shit.
That's Fujimoto though. That's how he approaches things really well, with that sort of stuff. So yes, Sakamoto, fantastic. Stop watching Solo Leveling; it's shit. Other things that I can mention that because after what's
if you don't want any plot or anything, if you just want to turn your brain off,
if you just want garbage, just watch that. That's fine.
No, it's not garbage, Logan. It's not cheat skill, is it?
That had that was really shit. But I feel like halfway at the halfway point, they were just like, "This is really shit," and they lent into it so hard. Going back and watching snippets of that anime is just so funny. It is like disgustingly funny how much it is to laugh at that show.
I can't believe how popular it was while we were going through it.
People loved it, and it was
great.
And it's the same thing with Solo Leveling. People just love connecting. Yes, it is. People love connecting with that wish fulfillment environment. They, for some reason, connect with it. I do not. I look at it and go, eh. I don't understand why you would want something given to you straight away. How boring is that?
I have two questions. One, sure. Has your son looked at it?
Solo Leveling?
Yeah. He loves it, doesn't he?
He got through 3 episodes.
Oh, okay.
I just went, sorry, I don't want this garbage. Sorry. That's how I raise my kids.
All right.
Yeah.
I was gonna.
I didn't say anything.
It is a generational thing.
Told him to watch it, and I didn't give him anything more than that. He made that decision completely on his own. Okay. So after we decided to start picking the podcast up again, I went and a little bit bananas on watching all the new shows, just to sort of filter out what I will continue to watch throughout the rest of the season. So, for starters,
we're still trying to solidify the
format
one that we're gonna rip on.
Exactly. Okay, so I watched Red Ranger becomes what is it? The title is too long.
It's the Red Ranger Isekai.
Yeah. I started watching that. It's funny. It's a different take on a very, very generic environment. I like the main character. He's a lot of fun. There's a lot of energy. He continues to do poses every second he can get. And every time he transforms, he like does the whole sequence, like the whole Sailor Moon sequence style thing. And he'll crack a pose at the end, right? And then explosion will happen behind him. And it's not just like a visual effect on the screen. Like all the other characters are like, whoa, what's this explosion? And it's got some really funny characters in it. And all the background characters are a lot more entertaining than the main character. So there was that one. I watched Bogus Skill Fruit Eater or some crap like that.
I take it didn't leave a good impression.
It is the most generic wish fulfillment I've ever seen. Like, it is like, even the characters you can tell were just ripped from other series, like their character designs and everything. It is the most bland thing I've seen in a long time. So I gave it 2 episodes, maybe 3. I think 3's out now. I will not continue watching that. It's just a waste of time. I then watched So I'm a Noble is a series about he gets reborn as a note that the fifth in line of a noble family, so he has no prospects in this. He's just living a comfy, lazy life. But he's been isekai'd, and he's like, I want to know, how do I do magic? And they're just like, what are you talking about? We've got magic books and stuff. You can go look at it yourself. You got all the time in the world. So he goes and studies magic himself and just starts to learn magic. It's generic. Again, it's not wish fulfillment because he actually has to work to get the stuff. People give him things along the way, which is understandable. But it's a pretty generic fantasy style. Become a magician and become the most powerful, all that sort of junk. What do we got? Magic Maker. That one was interesting.
Okay.
So Magic Maker starts off like a pretty generic isekai. The kid, gets born into a world and he has a relatively happy family. And he, one day he brings up to his father, he's like, well, is magic, anybody talked about magic and stuff like that? And he's like, well, magic doesn't exist. It doesn't exist in this world. So the poor bastard's been isekai'd into a world that has no magic. So he has to find magic. So he has to actually invent it. So instead of him just coming into the world and he's got magic and he's the most powerful in the world, he actually has to research it and discover the actual things that develop mana and magic and learn how to manipulate it and stuff like that. So it's got a much more interesting concept. The characters are weird because it's a sister love scenario, which he doesn't think is weird because he doesn't consider her his sister too much. Because he's like a 30-year-old man in a kid's body. It's one of those scenarios again. So he's like, you're my sister, but I love you. And they're 12. So it's not a big deal.
Get some help.
Apparently the mum yells at her because she says that she loves him. It's got a little bit of reality and a bit of ground into it. So we're steadily starting to sort of go upwards in quality. Even given the worthless appraisal class is not an isekai. It's a wish fulfillment. So, except it's done better than solo leveling. So, it's the same sort of scenario. Everybody's got skill classes and all that sort of stuff, and the people that have high classes, beat up the ones underneath. And he's got the appraisal skill, so he basically travels with hunters that go into dungeons, and he appraises the things that are worth taking with them, and he carries all the bags and stuff. But while in a dungeon, they encounter some really terrible freaking monsters. So one of the people paralyzes him to leave him behind while they escape. And while they're chowing down on him, he's chucks his bag at him and escapes from the monsters, and then finds a really deep hole and decides to commit suicide. So it's pretty standard stuff for a wish fulfillment. Falls into a hole, and lo and behold, at the bottom of the hole is actually the mana tree, Yggdrasil, the old tree of life sort of business down there, which happens to have a spirit attached to it that's a sexy elf lady that saves his life. And it's the way I'm explaining it is very kind of standard, generic, but the characters are actually kind of fun. So the MC starts off as this really mopey kind of guy. He's down on his luck, hates his life, all that sort of business. But when he's given his second chance, he doesn't go, I'm the most powerful, I'm going to go back and tear everybody up and tell them they're a bunch of dickheads. No, he becomes the really nice guy. So So instead of seeking revenge, he like forgives the people that left him in the dungeon, and he just goes off on his own journey. He starts his life again. He doesn't just try to be better than everyone else. So it's a much different take on the wish fulfillment environment than Solo Leveling, which is purely revenge, essentially. That's what drives that guy. So this is a much more upbeat environment. The characters are chock full of charm. They've got a lot more charm to them as well. So I'm going to continue watching that one because it looks like a bit of fun.
Okay.
My favorite pick for this season so far.
Trash or good or good?
Good. This is my favorite pick. Baban Vampire, which I think is actually
that one.
It is actually meant to be Van Vampire.
The way they stutter.
Yeah, but the way they pronounce it is Vampire. So when the title runs out like that, it should have been Vampire, not Vampire. It doesn't quite translate as well. Comedy series. Okay. So I tried to explain this to you over text, and it was really difficult because it just made it sound really horrible. I will try and explain it without it sounding super creepy.
Good luck.
Okay, so it is a classic high school romance scenario, except the main character isn't the boy who's in love. It's the vampire that lives in his family's bathhouse and works there. So what you have is a 400-year-old vampire that is cleaning baths for a living inside this old bathhouse and looking after the son and the parents that are there as well. And they got this really cool, fun dynamic between them. The dad's always joking because the guy keeps saying he's a 400-year-old vampire, and the dad thinks it's fucking hilarious and keeps wanting to hear his stories about his love shenanigans in the past. like you hear him talk about all these old samurais and stuff that he slept with and fed upon and all this other stuff. It's really wild, that side of it. And then on the other side, you've got the son, who's this like super innocent 15-year-old kid just heading into high school. And I'm not even joking. He's heading to school with the toast in the mouth and runs into the girl who's coming around the corner, and they have the whole interaction, and he falls in love with her. So it's that real standard, very, very tropey, like 100% trope. The whole love story thing is a trope, which is fun. But on the side, you got this vampire who is trying to stop him from falling in love because he wants to keep him as a virgin so he can feed upon him when he turns 18. So just as you think that this vampire is trying to be this family's friend and look after them, he's actually raising this child.
He's a predator.
So he's a predator. And that's what I said. It's like real predatory behavior. And what doesn't help, what doesn't help is he has these moments where the boy will behave in the most innocent and childish kind of way, and he's super pure. He wants to keep him pure, and he'll behave that way. And the vampire will turn around and go into this whole freaking JoJo style pose scenario, but he'll have like this massive boner like stretching across the screen, and it is the most like completely insane thing you'll ever see. But it's hilarious. It's had me in stitches like the whole way through. And there's just that weird, bizarre dynamic that's happening. And then on top of that, it turns out the girl doesn't actually love the boy. She's actually fallen in love with the vampire who's trying to get her to fall in love with him to help him. But she ends up falling in love with the vampire. Well, the vampire is trying to get the boy's trying to get the girl's trying to get the vampire. So it's got this really cool sort of bizarre dynamic, and they keep bumping into each other, and he keeps accidentally saving her or making himself look more impressive in front of her, which stops her from liking the boy. And then the boy eventually takes him on as like a love rival. I'm like, dude, the girl is 15 and he's a 400-year-old vampire. I don't think this is gonna, like, he has no interest whatsoever. I highly recommend this series. Don't watch it with children because you got a lot of explaining to do if you do. But it is honestly, it is the best thing I've seen so far. The animation's beautiful. It's done really well in a very classy way. So highly recommend.
Just actually, just quickly was checking some news while you were talking about anime. Turns out Viz's Twitter's still nuked.
Suckers.
This is what it looks like.
Spinning out that Bitcoin.
Where is it? Share. Yep, this is what it looks like. Viz Media. Just dead.
Nice.
So,
nice.
Just real quick, I never saw this one on our Manga Plus, so I don't know if we actually got a translation. It's called Chieri's Love is 8 meters tall. And I just needed to share this with you because, good lord.
Is she actually 8 meters tall?
Yep.
Because that will be interesting.
There's a spin-off Kaiju number 8 manga coming out, which just looks to be slice of life, them in their downtime. Nice. That's pretty much what it says. Even kaiju fighters need a break sometimes. There's also another.
Mangaka?
I think it's manga. It's a little. Oh no, yeah. That one is. So the next one is a One Piece lore spin-off novel.
Okay. I'm sure some people will be happy about that.
I'm One Piece mad, and I'm still probably not gonna read.
What? Who does that?
Me and Roboco is getting a movie, and it will be collaborating with the Wild Robot to some.
What?
There's no details. I don't know, and I don't understand exactly, but
they got robots in the title, so they got to be the same, right?
Yeah. We've got.
Chelsea would like to know if that lore novel is coming out in English.
I would be very surprised if it doesn't. Also, thanks for keeping an eye on the chat because I wasn't looking. Also, hi, Brandon. We will. My Hero Academia Vigilantes coming out for this. April. Oh, dude, have you seen the trailer? It looks so good.
I have. I hope they keep up that animation quality.
It is. I am so excited. I think I like this more than the original. It just felt raw, I guess. I love Vigilantes.
Yeah.
I'm so disappointed that there wasn't more crossovering.
Yeah, the characters I think were, because they weren't being compressed into that.
It was a very shonen
figure. Yeah. A more concentrated
there was
cast.
Like a lot of cameos and stuff from the main series, but oh good lord! Of course you do, Trusty. I take it you're a bit of a lore lore fan?
Yeah, I think so.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
What was the other? There was another anime coming out April. I thought maybe I'm just talking out my butt now. No, I think it was just that actually. So there is a Atlas game, Metaphor Refantasio, is getting a manga adaptation, which is coming to Manga Plus, which is pretty cool.
Okay. Okay.
Hopefully it's good. I mean, I didn't read the manga for Persona, but the anime was adequate.
It was as good as Persona is.
No. No, you should play the game.
Wait a minute, he says. I have tried, man. I have tried. There is so much reading in that game. It is outrageous.
It's a life sim and a JRPG.
But the JRPG takes a backseat for the game. So
Trusty's a thirsty girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although I can't blame you.
It's just one of those series that I've tried. I love the design. I love the concept of it. I love all of that stuff, but I just cannot get into it.
Yeah. It's the aesthetic for me, for sure. I think for a lot of people.
Stunning. Stunning games.
But goddamn, they're a time sink.
You know what, man? We're at an hour and a half.
I know. And I'm just going to rapid fire a couple things off, and we're going to wrap up shortly.
Okay. Rapid fire.
So just in our cancellations, we unfortunately have No Name getting put down. You didn't fully keep up with this one, did you?
No.
Saying that there's only 14 chapters.
Yeah.
I really dug it.
It's beautiful artwork. The world was really interesting. I just wasn't down for a cop series, I guess.
Yeah. Cop series never seem to land very well in manga.
They're difficult to land. You need that buddy cop environment. You need that tension between the two main characters to actually get that long-running sort of environment.
She was more interesting than he was, but they were pushing more him than her.
Yeah.
It was written by the guy who wrote Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Yeah, probably, or one of the guys, we should say, because I'd say there would have been a team.
I don't know, actually.
Usually was on a show like that.
Not a cancellation, I don't think.
Just a finish up. It didn't feel like a cancellation.
No, unless they got like ample warning. So these guys are still getting an anime. I feel like it'll only be 12 episodes. I can't imagine there'd be much more to work with.
That's all you get out of it, to be honest.
It was a really cute series that didn't shit the bed like Oshinoko did. They took two industries, they looked at both of them, they had a romance between the two characters that were in those respective industries, and it was cute, it was fun, a little bit insightful, nothing I haven't really seen before, but in terms of like the way that they approach the music industry and the animation industry, it's stuff that I'm aware of. But if it's
they didn't deep dive or anything like that.
No, it was more of this was coming out around the same time as Tenmaku Cinema, and both of them were giving me the I need to create shit now, which I'm kind of missing now that they both ended. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. 49 chapters roughly, I think it was. They were still
doing good figures as well. So I don't
Yeah.
think it was a cancellation. I think it was just a natural conclusion.
Like I said to you, it didn't feel like there could have been much more to delve into.
I think I would have. Yeah,
causing
I would have lost
unnecessary drama. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, like again, like how much can you dive into? Dude sits at his desk for hours on end, and girl goes and
Draws
does
pictures.
music.
Yeah.
Like that's
Exactly
why there
right.
was a big shift at like that midpoint where we focused on her for a while because he was just sitting at a desk.
It's animation. That's all you do. You sit at a desk.
Which is great, but it makes for very boring manga.
It does. It does indeed.
Yeah, it was a good little series. It had some really nice little art. That last chapter was a really nice little bow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. What's next, Fire? What do we got?
Oh, and Mission Yozakura Family has also wrapped up. I was trying
yeah,
to remember. I knew there was another one.
Yeah. Beat in Motion, Yozakura Family, and
No Name and Undead Unluck.
Yeah.
So 1 cancellation and 3 natural conclusions, I think. I didn't keep up with Mission Yozakura Family.
Yeah.
It was all right. There was some things that I was like kind of interested in, but they kind of dragged their feet with a lot of the mysteries and kind of focused a bit more on the romance, and I was just not for it at that time, I think.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right.
I don't know how.
I was just about to say that.
I got 2 more things.
You got 2 more.
Well, 3, but the one's kind of a non-thing because I don't have anything to really tell you about.
Okay.
We are apparently getting 2 new series coming to the magazine next week, I think, or maybe the week after. It's hard to tell. Both newbies, from what I can tell. Both award winners for one-shots that they've done. I don't even really have any art to show you guys either, so sorry.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it's not a bunch of generic stuff.
I don't know how much of a impact this will have on the series, but One Piece has changed editors, which is, I think, going to be the editor that worked on Black Clover, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Tokyo Demon Bride story. So 2 out of 3 didn't get cancelled. So it's not going anywhere. However, the final thing I need to ask you: have you seen the
Muffin Man? Yes.
the new CG Spider-Man trailer? Disney Plus are putting out a new animated CG Spider-Man, and it doesn't look great.
I don't really care much about Spider-Man. I don't consume any Spider-Man medias.
I'm not putting this up for long because it's Disney, so that here you go. Doesn't that look great? Bye.
Interesting. I see what they're trying to do there.
They should. It looks very flat, and
I think that's the idea. Because what they'll do is they'll use it to make comic books out of using AI.
It doesn't. It looks icky. Yep. I don't know how to feel about it. Mostly everybody else is kind of the same. They're like, ew.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's about it. All the info I've got for you.
Awesome.
thank you guys for coming and joining us for episode 78, 12 months after episode 77.
No, it's only been a week.
Appreciate you all coming back. Love you. Again, we have the new channel. We will be there next week. And don't forget to check out the Kickstarter. It will be launching next Friday.
Next Friday.
Next Friday. I know it's creeping up really quickly. And both of the links are in the comments down below. Don't forget to let us know if you have any thoughts on what you would like to see from Read This Way Book Club, or even if you have a better title. That's cool too.
That'd be nice. Yeah. We'll take any suggestions.
I want this one to be a little bit more back and forwards between us, and just focusing a little bit more on one property that we can showcase to you guys, or vice versa. Yeah, if you think that we're gonna hate something and you want to force us to read something for 10 chapters or whatever we decide on,
and then hear us whinge about it for 45 minutes. Yes.
And you can come and argue with us.
We love a good argument. We'll tell you you're wrong, but you know.
One very long week.
Indeed.
We've been Read This Way. I've been Brad.
And I've been Logan.
Unless he hasn't. And we'll see you next week. 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Again! Forever! A million years! Bradley and Logan.
Unless we're on holidays.
That's the Rick and Morty bit.
Oh man, it's been so long since I watched Rick and Morty.
I know. It's also like season 2.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not going to remember that.
See you, Nerdburger.
Bye-bye.
See you later, everyone else who's still here. Brandon, maybe. And everyone else who's creeping. Love you. We'll see you next time.